Thank you for watching this information session on Master of Arts and Criminal Justice at Simpson College. Our featured speaker tonight is our program director, Dr. Denise Leifker. We'll talk a little bit about her experience and education, and then I will ask her some questions about the program. And if you were joining us live, it'd be your opportunity as well to ask questions. So if you have some questions at the end of the session and still want to know more, her information is right here on your screen in terms of how you can email her or give her a call to learn more about the program. Denise's expertise includes courts, corrections, and law enforcement. Her credentials include a doctorate of philosophy in criminal justice, a master of arts in criminal justice, and a bachelor of science in criminal justice. And Denise, before we talk too much more about the program, can you tell us a little bit more about your experience in the field and about your other faculty members?
Sure. So my background in law enforcement would be working for the Division of Criminal Investigation in Iowa. That was my first job out of my master's degree, primarily working on a drug task force and dealing with some of the major crimes that occurred in the state in which the small agencies needed assistance. My work in courts and corrections are kind of the same. I've worked in probation and parole in 3 different places, 2 different counties in California, and then at the federal level here in Iowa. In all 3 of those places, well, I should say 2 of those places, I worked primarily with the court system, writing pre-sentence investigation reports, making recommendations on what should happen to people that are being sentenced. And then I also worked at a juvenile institution at the county level in California. So I can speak to all 3 of those segments. The other faculty members at Simpson also have a wide range of experience. We have 2 sociologists with quite a bit of research experience, and then we also have someone that teaches our social justice and human rights course who has background in sociology, law, and has also worked in the social work field, so very well-rounded and gifted in teaching. We bring in a lot of adjuncts with expertise in the field. We have some that have many, many years in corrections, many, many years in law enforcement, and we even have some district attorneys and things that have taught courses for us as adjuncts as well. So I think that would speak to myself and the faculty.
So you've talked a little bit about who teaches in the program, but who is this program a fit for? So what types of careers do students have, or are they aspiring to have when they come to earn a Master of Criminal Justice?
I think that the criminal justice field is one in that it piques a lot of interest. So we have a wide variety of students that come to us from a bunch of different backgrounds. They're not necessarily coming from criminal justice undergrads. A lot of times what they're looking for is to either advance their current position within the agency that they're at, trying to move up in like supervisory rank, or they are looking to make sort of a career move in some type of an advancement. So you might have somebody that's looking to be a sergeant or a police chief if you're looking at the policing level, or you may have somebody that's looking to go from the local level to the state or federal level in law enforcement, courts, corrections, all of those. And then we also have individuals that are maybe just looking for sort of a career shift. They have a background maybe in social work, but they're more interested in kind of dealing with some of the issues that are going on today in the criminal justice system, and they want to learn more.
So speaking of issues, let's talk about the courses, because a lot of the courses do apply to what's going on out there in the world. So can you talk about just a few of the core courses or even some of the electives and give us a little glimpse of what students may learn?
Yes, absolutely. I think that our program is well-rounded from the development of it. So we aren't just necessarily responding to what's going on in society today, but we have experience in talking about these different types of topics that speak to sort of the conflict you're seeing in society. So we aren't just teaching individuals how to be better police officers, but we are getting to the core of some of these issues. So we have a great class called Social Justice and Human Rights that has dealt with the issue of implicit bias for years and goes beyond implicit bias and really trying to meet people where they are at, understanding people, and being an advocate as well as a member of the criminal justice system. Another great course we have is a leadership course. So we're teaching people how to be leaders or to be better leaders. And again, not just kind of a cookie cutter version of a leader, but really trying to speak to ethical considerations and some key features of leadership that would apply across your personal life as well as your professional life. And then also speaking to ethics, we have a great course on ethics that, you know, kind of uses that front page news test of at the core of who you are, what would you be comfortable with on the front page of the news if something ever happened, and getting into sort of some theoretical aspects of ethical situations and philosophical expectations in the field. And so I would say that all of our core courses really speak to big picture issues. And then our electives are the ones that are a little bit more specific, like courses in corrections, courts, policing, victims, those types of things.
Let's talk a little bit about alumni. I know there are some alumni who have moved into leadership positions, but can you talk just a little bit about what they say they got out of the program? What are some of the key takeaways or things they're using in their professional lives that they mentioned to you after graduation, or even while they're on the job taking courses, are particularly relevant?
Yeah, interestingly enough, people are often a little bit fearful of classes like research and statistics. And a lot of our alumni speak to that being one of the most helpful aspects of the program. Having those research reports that are coming across their desk and being able to dissect them and understand what they mean and what that looks like in terms of making policy changes or following different policies that are coming down and how you tweak that for your organization. So really understanding the research. Another thing is sort of like conflict resolution or de-escalation, and that probably comes into place both in policing classes as well as like that social justice class that I talked about when we're talking about dealing with the community and meeting people where they're at. Those would probably be some of the main takeaways that I hear quite often.
So now the program is in a fully online format, but can you talk to us a little bit about, from a student perspective that works with a lot of different schedules, but do they go at their own pace? Do they join a live stream class, or how is the program delivered? And that speaks to me that it works for whether you're working full-time, whether you're working part-time, or even if you're out of the workforce looking to make a change.
Yes, absolutely. I think that online programs are a great option for people in the criminal justice field that often have schedules that don't look like most other people. So the classes are tailored in a way that you're allowed to work on them when it works for you. There's once in a while a synchronous session that would be something like this where you peer via Zoom. I never mandate my students do that. I require them to do that, but if they can't, then I record it and they can go back and summarize it for me. So it's never an issue of having to be someplace at a specific time or being punished for it. I like them to get on to try to build community because that's really important in an online class. But if they absolutely can't do it, it's not the end of the world and they aren't penalized for that. But we do operate on an 8-week system, so it moves pretty quickly. But I think that our classes are pretty organized and streamlined. And like I said, you can work when it works for you, whether that be middle of the night or weekends or holidays or mornings, whatever works for you.
Denise, another question along those same lines. So you talked about the 8-week format. Tell us about start times, because I think that's something that's unique about this program as well, in terms of when students can begin their graduate studies.
Yes, I would say that is unique to our program. So, if you think about a traditional undergrad program and even many other graduate programs, you want to jump in either at the start of the fall or the start of the spring. For our program, you can get in 6 times a year, I believe it is, because it's every 8 weeks. So you can start in August, October, and moving forward every 8 weeks. So there's never a long gap of time in which you can't enter our program.
Anything else you would like prospective students to know about earning an MACJ at Simpson?
I think the one thing that I would like to leave students with is that Simpson is well known for its personal connection with students at the undergrad level. And I want students to know that that applies at the graduate level as well. We are a small school and we pride ourselves in being available to students and really connecting to them and helping them get what they want out of the degree. So I know we even have some students today that were our undergrads. So when they look at our graduate courses, they think that there might be some overlap from what they've learned in their undergrad. And so we will do independent studies with them to try to learn what to try to get to what they want to learn more about. So for example, right now we have a student that's possibly going to look at doing something on Black Lives Matter and incorporating that into the interaction with the criminal justice system. And so learning what they want to learn more about and challenging them to do that. So that's just an example of how we try to help students and get the most out of this degree, whatever that looks like for them.
So just in closing, in addition to it being personalized as students go through the program, everyone comes into looking at the program from a unique perspective as well. So I know you make yourself available to talk to prospective students, they can ask their questions about this program and tell you about what they're trying to achieve or what their background is. So I guess it's more of just letting students know that you're available and that you're excited to talk to them about the program.
Absolutely. Anytime. They can have my cell phone number, whatever. I'm available whenever.
So yeah, that's unusual too, just in terms of being able to talk to the graduate program director as a prospective student. So Dr. Leifker, thank you so much for your time tonight, and prospective students, thank you for joining us. And again, we'd love to have you either at a live event or reach out to Denise or to our admissions team member. Her name is Ginger Herman, and we'll get the information up there with the video link. So thank you for your time and have a great night.
That's great. Thank you. Bye-bye.